Also, creating a database of collaborators, not only donors, not only grants, but other community partners that do what you do that you can collaborate with. And then you have 3 or 4 of the groups that maybe work with tutoring children, foster children. Being able to have those groups, organizations come together is more powerful. And maybe you're just looking for some new talent at this point. Maybe your business is expanding and you don't have social media expertise in-house. This is a big one. If I had a dime for every time somebody came to me looking for a marketing or social media intern, I would be a very rich woman. So students are social media experts. Maybe you're expanding and you're having to put your time somewhere else, and now you need somebody to assist with accounting. We have a great need for accounting students at Cal State San Marcos. They're always looking for accounting internships. And we particularly have a need for students who want to do accounting for nonprofits. So make sure that you think outside of the box. It's not just social media. It's not just coming in and doing the typical internship, but think about other areas that you would want to have students come in and assist you. And accounting is one I would really like to emphasize. And maybe your industry is changing. Maybe there was a new law or new policy, or the industry is changing based on COVID. Maybe, you had a restaurant that was a buffet and now that's not so much. So maybe there are some trends in your industry that you can have students do some focus groups. So after really thinking about all of the different projects that you can provide students with skills and experience and assistance with your organization, the traditional format for internships is in person. What I want to talk about is how to pivot from being in person and thinking, if it can't be in person, I can't offer an internship. That's what I really, really want to get across. Just because it was in person doesn't mean that you can't offer the same thing, but virtually. So first consideration, can they do this remotely? So can the intern do all of the duties that you were previously had them do, or you want them to do if you're a new community partner doing a new internship? Can they do this remotely? And I would say before COVID, there was some resistance. No, they need to be in the office. They need to touch the paper. They need to have the phone in their hand. Now that COVID-19 has come about, I think that everyone has realized how transferable some of the duties, some of the responsibilities, some of the skill sets are to remote. So remember also that the students live in this world and they have the ability to pretty much do anything remotely, virtually. So, and also keep in mind that students love virtual internships. They don't have to pay for gas. They don't have to borrow a car. They don't have to spend time traveling, no traffic. They don't have to buy new work clothes. Sometimes they can just be dressed up from the top up and be in their pajama bottoms down below for the meetings. And they certainly won't be doing any filing or coffee runs. So they actually really like virtual internships. So the second consideration is, can we, your organization, do this remotely? And again, previously, I think there might have been some resistance, but I think now everybody is pretty much working from home. So I think everybody has gotten used to how to get the job done remotely. For smaller and bigger organizations, there are some concerns that I have heard where they may not have the technology set up. And I would request that that not be a barrier for you. There are a lot of free applications similar to Zoom in which you can set up and not be putting out any costs and still be able to have the technology to get the internship to be successful and have it be a benefit for you. So yes, use technology. And I'll use this next slide to give you some ideas of some of the apps that'll allow you to do some of these duties. And there are more. Again, students know how to do this. Maybe one of the projects is to take the company and the organization and some of the projects that you have and make them remote and write up how that would be technology-wise. So it actually would be a good project. I recommend having a backup plan. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but if the Zoom doesn't work, if the Flipgrid doesn't work, if any of this doesn't work, there's this really cool thing called the phone and something called email that usually works pretty well. So there are some backup plans. You don't have to be super mega techie. And also be patient. There are glitches in technology. There are, glitches all the time. So just be patient. And then also remember the value of doing a virtual internship now and the value of the world we live in now. Because when this first started, what I heard from community partners is, oh, I can't wait to go from virtual back to in-person, as if the virtual was going to permanently go away. This was a temporary situation. And I feel that it's really important to emphasize the fact that when we do go back to in-person, there's still a great value of doing things virtually. I mean, that opens up a whole new world and sometimes access to some of your clientele that wouldn't normally have access to you. So even though we're going to go back to the in-person world, really make sure that you value the concepts of having your duties, your business, your processes being virtual, because that can run in tandem. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. So this is a slide that we've been putting together, and there's a lot more than is even in the slide, but this is based on task and the digital tools that you can use to get these tasks done. So I'm not going to go through all of them. This will be available to you, but feel free to reach out to me and see if we have anything else that we've been using. I know that Microsoft Teams has been huge for campus. We've been working with Teams and it has just been fantastic because it has both chat and video. So again, some of these are free and some of them do have a fee to them. So just some ideas. Okay, getting started. Now you know, you have an idea of the internship project that you want. You know the technology, you know if it's possible or not. Now you write up a written plan. So just like a job description. So draft a job description, an intern description. So make sure that you are clear about what the roles and responsibilities are, the duties are. And this information goes for in-person as well as it does for virtual. There's a certain section of virtual that I just went over, but all the same applies for an in-person. So make sure that you put down in that written plan, you let the student know if there's any particular experience that they need for this internship. You don't want them to start and then say, oh, you don't know how to work a PowerPoint? Oh, you don't have a certification for accounting. So make sure that if there's any type of experience that you really need the student to have, that you put that down in the job description. And then orientation. Orientation is super important for a student. It makes them feel very welcome. It makes sure that they understand all of the inner workings of your organization, your processes, and it allows them to ask questions. Virtual orientations are really important. Again, that's what I said earlier, saying value the now, because being able to create an orientation that is a video orientation is really important for the future onboarding of some of your employees. So that could be actually an intern project is creating a video orientation. Now, here's the tough one. Paid, decide whether this internship is paid or unpaid. Now, for those of you who are for-profit companies, based on the Department of Labor laws, if a student is not receiving academic credit for an internship, you must pay the student. If they are receiving academic credit, you don't have to, but let me state for the record, we really, really recommend that there is some compensation or payment for the student for several reasons, especially now students are not working as much as they were pre-COVID-19. So for students to be required to take an internship for academic credit to complete their academic, their career, the college degree, is anywhere from 90 to 120 hours per 16-week semester. It's a lot of hours, and that's a lot of hours that they can't be working. So right now, I highly, if it's in your budget, I know everybody is strapped right now, but we highly, highly recommend paid. And students will seek out paid internships before they will seek out unpaid internships. So that also will get you better traffic for students. And it also gives them a little skin in the game, a little bit of pride in that they're being paid and feeling valued. So I highly recommend paid internships. For those of you who are nonprofits, the Department of Labor laws do not really apply to you, and the student is considered a volunteer. There is no requirement to pay the student. So again, I really highly recommend a paid internship if possible. So, okay, next, make sure that part of your internship plan is determining a schedule. And that is a schedule of when they should be checking in with you, when your meetings are. I highly recommend frequent meetings with a student just to touch base with them. And when the internship will be starting and ending. That's a really important one. What resources you're going to need. Are they going to need access to any of the technology? So if you have any databases or Google Docs, are they going to need access to that? Will they need a headset to be making phone calls? Any kind of resources that you may need to give them. And then training, any particular training. Maybe you have a very specialized application that your company used. Will they need training on that application? This is also a big key one. I want to emphasize this one very, very much so. Who will supervise the intern? We frequently get students who start with organizations in which they start with one person as their supervisor, then they get handed to somebody else, and then they're halfway through their internship and they're very confused as to who their boss is and they're too embarrassed to ask. So this meme is actually a real thing. So we recommend as a best practice to have a professional person on your staff be the supervisor of the intern and not a peer. We don't recommend interns supervising interns. That way they have that relationship with a professional person. The employee can mentor the student. So we highly recommend that, and that they are a positive role model. Because the student's first experience, second, third experience out in the industry is going to be with this employee as their supervisor. And then also, please give your employee who is supervising and mentoring the intern actual time to spend with them. If you can arrange their schedule or their duties to lighten it up a little bit to make sure that they have that time and they are not resentful that this is added on to their duties. So giving them time to mentor. And also make sure that you have regular and immediate feedback with the students. They really appreciate that. Nothing is worse than a student going down the path of a project and then not having immediate feedback and realizing for the last week they've been doing it in a different direction that they should be. And then regular and scheduled evaluations. Students really like feedback. They like knowing they're doing something right, and they like learning when they're not doing it right, how to do it right. So they really do like those evaluations. Okay, so now you know what an academic internship is. You've thought about it, what your company needs are. You've crafted this. Now what? Visit us at the Office of Internships. We have a web page for all of our community partners. Has any form you need, it has information, it has flyers, it has testimonials. We have everything that you guys need. Also, process-wise, so Our process is that go to our website or contact me directly and I'll send you an email with all the links that you need. Fill out an application. We do an agreement, which is a 5-year agreement. So you only have to fill out the application once every 5 years. So you fill out the application, we review it. When we approve it, we send you an agreement. It's a boiler template agreement. You sign it, we sign it. That agreement's good for 5 years. No application or agreement necessary, but for every 5 years. Then we post that into our internship database. Our internship database is accessible to all 17,000 plus students of ours. They can search it by company name, by industry, paid or unpaid, virtual or in person, by city. There's a lot of different variables in which the students can do this. They will have the information on how to contact you directly about the internship. It's an adulting process, right? Where the student calls the company and says, I'm interested in your internship. I'd like to discuss this more about you, and you have that conversation. Whatever onboarding or interviewing process you have, maybe it's an interview, maybe you're requesting them to send you some social media posts, a video example, whatever it is that you need in order to vet the student as a good opportunity, a good intern for this opportunity. And let me also state that if the student is not a good fit for your internship opportunity, you do not have to take them on. We want to make sure that it's a good fit for both the student and our community partner. But I'm sure that they will be, because all of our students are fantastic. And then they start their internship. It's as simple as that. So, along with being a partner with the university and having a university partnership agreement with us, there are additional opportunities that you can be involved with at the university if you so desire. We have internship fairs, usually one in the fall and one in the spring. Based on COVID, was a little different this year. So we're working on how to do that virtually and change it up a little bit. There are also mixers, especially for service learning, in which we have industry-related groups coming together along with students and faculty. So it's a great opportunity to be able to meet some of our faculty and be involved with them that way. And then be a speaker in their class. A lot of faculty want speakers from industry if they are in, let's say, for example, criminal justice. They'll want speakers who are out working in the industry in criminal justice and be able to speak to what the industry is like, what their job is like, what their education was getting there, what their path was. Because honestly, students don't know what they don't know. So the more opportunity that you have to be able to impart your information, impart your experience to our students, the better. We really love that. Okay. So you're telling me I have to have experience before I get experience. And this is where internships are so important, right? So the students are getting that experience before they go out and they become very, very career ready to go out and get that job in the career, in the industry that they're interested in, because they've had hopefully 3 to 4, that's my dream, 3 to 4 internships before they graduate. That's a lot of time and that's a lot of connections. So internship value for the students, we find statistically, this is through the NACE group, National Association of Colleges, 80% on average, 80% of students who participate in at least one internship receive job offers after graduation, because they've done such a good job with your organization that you want to hang on to them, because they become a known entity to you. They're not one of 10,000 applications. They're somebody you know, they show up on time, you know their work is quality. And this is the other important statistic that goes together with this first one, is that 80% of our, over 80% of our CSUSM students stay local after they graduate. So again, we are training your workforce. And I think this is probably a little higher. And 66% of employers state that relevant work experience is and by the way, I changed this, is as important, if not more important, is the actual quote, as a strong academic performance. So when you are looking at these students coming in and you see that they have a high GPA, that they graduated in the discipline that was applicable to your industry, being able to see 2 resumes and see that one student has had at least 1 internship with experience is very valuable for you guys. Okay, internship tips. These are just general tips. Get started early. You don't want to rush through the process. You want to take some time to be able to really think it through and bounce it off of everyone in your organization, because they may have aspects of the internship that you didn't think of. Make sure that your description is clear. That way you know exactly what the student is responsible for and the student knows. Get them excited. There are some descriptions that they could use a little zhuzhing. I really enjoy it when I see community partners with descriptions and internship postings that really brag about their organization and talk about how excited they are to be part of it and what a great organization it is. So everybody wants to work for an organization like that. So I recommend that you boast about your organization in your internship description. And then, of course, paid internships is always a good thing. Have I said that already? And then word of mouth. So one of the things that happens is you'll do your first internship and the intern had a phenomenal experience. And then the next semester, you'll have 4 students and then they'll have great experiences. Word of mouth is really one of the strongest ways that students tell each other about the great experiences. So that's a great way to get more students interested in your internship. So this is our goal. We want every student to have an internship. Actually, my goal, again, my legacy that I'd like to leave is I'd like students to have 2 to 4 internships in their college career. I think that would be fantastic. So, okay. And also, please don't be shy with your internship opportunity. We, as part of the education community here in North County, we love to share this information. We are not by any means exclusive or only want you to list with us. Please share the wealth, share the love. Post it and talk to the internship and service learning directors and coordinators for Palomar, Maricosta. The community colleges really need internships as well as the San Diego State, our sister school, UCSD, USD. So again, share the wealth. And that way you get a really broad group of students coming to you as well. So do not be shy, please share the wealth. Okay. And that is it. Questions? Oh, you're muted, Rick.
I've done so good. It's only the second time. I swear it's only the second time I've done that. I've been, I had a really long streak of about 15 in a row and then I snapped my streak. And anyway, so thanks, Joe. That's a lot of great information. If you can pop off the shared screen, and then we've got plenty of time for questions. One thing I want to say before we get into any questions is that we've the Chamber's had several interns from Cal State San Marcos. It's been a great experience. You know, and in my former life, running minor league baseball teams, I'd have 12 to 15 interns a year, and it's kind of neat now looking back, or I get still connected to some of them on LinkedIn and seeing all these great things that they're doing. It's a great opportunity for any business, nonprofit, for-profit, to tap into this energy and this knowledge and this enthusiasm and great talents that are out there. So I encourage everyone to participate in the internship program, and it works the best. Like Jill said, if you're organized and have a specific program that they're working on, that they have to work on, it's phenomenal. So any questions for Jill?
Jill, it's Nancy. What's like the timeline? Are you doing this over the summer, or are we looking at it for the fall semester?
So we have students who are typically, for academic internships, typically looking for internships probably 2 to 3 weeks. I would love to think sooner, but 2 to 3 weeks before the semester starts. They know they're going to be in an internship class, so they're starting to do their searching beforehand. The semester is 16 weeks, and the internship usually requires anywhere from 90 to 120 hours. You will also get students who don't necessarily need academic credit for their internship. Maybe it's a summertime and they only have 2 more classes left till they graduate and they don't need the units. They still want that experience. So you'll have students coming to it all parts of the time of the semester and even in the summer that want to have an internship and they can start anytime. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks, Jill.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for being such a great supporter to Cal State San Marcos students. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, how many of you have had interns in the past? Raise your hand.
I'm raising my hand.
Okay. How many of you have been an intern?
Also raising hand.
Yep. Any other questions? I'm available at any point in time. This is being recorded and it has my contact information. And as Rick mentioned, I'm also chair of the chamber. So any other questions about the university being a resource? We have wonderful programs. We have COBA has College of Business Administration, has the senior experience. We have a lot of wonderful, wonderful programs with the university. So please consider the university a resource to your organization.
Jill, I was going to mention that you mentioned senior experience, and I think if anybody's hesitant about virtual versus having the intern in the office, is we did the last senior experience team we did use Google Docs, and so they were able to work together as a team on a project that were extremely helpful to the chamber, and but it was done. I mean, we would meet on I don't know, I think we met maybe 4 or 5 times during the semester. It wasn't very much, but we were able to, and in this world now, it would have been just as easy to meet virtually through a Zoom meeting. But they were able to share all the information, all the documents that they were doing through Google Docs, and it was very, very smooth, and didn't miss a beat. It was just as good as anything that would have been in real time. Any other questions for Jill?
That's good. That means I covered all the information.
They're very thorough.
Or confused you, one of the two.
Appreciate your time, Jill. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, well, if there's not any other questions, we'll let you guys go. Again, Jill, thanks so much for doing this. It's a wealth of information. I encourage anybody that didn't raise their hand, that have had interns before, please do it. I mean, it's a great experience, and beyond just getting great talent and being able to have someone help you with your work, it's just it's great relationship building. It's great opportunities for the students to start networking. I know I raised my hand when I did the internship too, because that's how you start building your network. I can barely remember it because it's been so long ago, but it's the way you build your network, and it's a great relationship for the students. So thanks for joining us today. Again, if there's any other topics you want us to take on, and any other guests you'd like to see on these webinars, please reach out and let us know. We're here for you. That's why we exist. It's your chamber, and we want to be able to continue to provide you all the resources that can help you, especially now more than ever. So have a great day. And if you haven't registered yet, we've got the Mayor Jones and the Sheriff's Captain, Jason Vickery, are going to be on a Zoom meeting tomorrow morning, I believe at 9. It's on our website, but there's still an opportunity to register for that. Really a great opportunity to hear what's going on between the city and the Sheriff's Department and how they're keeping San Marcos citizens safe. So again, thanks. Great to see you in San Marcos Squares, and see you again soon.